Lightbody Intimacy. Lightbody intimacy between two light bodies is a beautiful experience, and the way that it is accomplished best is through understanding the process of intimacy in the light body realms. Essentially, light bodies are like physical bodies, and they also have other attributes that physical bodies don't have, yet they don't have physical attributes that the physical bodies have. So in separating the sets of attributes, we can say that the light body is not a physical body. It is a body, though, that has characteristics that are or might be characterized as having physical characteristics, in that they have the shapes of the physical body, in that the light body is, in most cases, molded or based on the body of the physical manifestation, which is what the light body or the soul or spirit of the body chose as their manifestation vehicle or their expression of identity. And in their body, in their named body, and they have an ability to influence the space-time realm through motion in it, interaction with other beings and people and other animals, etc., and equipment in this physical realm. The light body realm is also coexisting in this realm, and it is sometimes called the fourth dimension, which is probably not true because the fourth dimension is time. So, but this light body realm, whatever dimension it might be called, and it's probably not necessarily a dimension that we can at this time attribute to any particular number, such as 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, though there might be very good systems for doing that. The light body system that allows the individuals to achieve intimacy is one that is based on resonant harmonies within light bodies themselves. So in the activation of intimacy, the light body participants need to be able to come to agreements, and these agreements allow particular types of interchange of energies. Now, the first agreements are physical agreements, meaning that the people in the physical body agree to have some type of realistic interaction. This is the most basic form of initiating these types of intimate relationships. There are other types of intimate relationships which don't involve the physical contact at all, even knowing the person's. Light bodies have freedoms to do various actions in the light body realms and do their intimate experiencing in those realms as well. And so these types of light body experiences, many people would remember them as dreams, or some would remember them as visions, or as fantasies, etc. Daydreams maybe, but not quite. These are very realistic types of things, and though what most people, when they experience these types of phenomena, intimacies in the light body realm, may just think there's some kind of lustful voyeurism and excursions into experience. But in a lot of ways, there are more connections, more happening than meets the eye. So intimacy on these light body levels has many formats. So let's begin with the first format, which is the format of two individuals that have agreed to have light-body intimacy. Now, the light-body intimacy can have the physical bodies in separation by any distance, but say for practical purposes, being within the room, same room or adjoining rooms would be okay. It is also possible to have individuals participating in this in different times, at different time zones and such, but the complexity of that becomes more difficult and is more in the abilities of the light-body masters than apprentices. So in real-time light-body intimacy exercises, the individuals will probably sit in the same room and have a comfortable seating position or laying down. These, in most cases, because of this exercise, the intimacy does not extend to the physical, so the bodies cannot be touching and should be separated by some distance so that their aura is not being influenced by the aura of the other person. This has to be a light body experience and not a physical body experience or an aura experience. So the intimacy has to be such that the individuals have a separation, and it is true light body intimacy that is occurring in these instances. The light body intimacy exercises allow the individuals to exercise their light bodies in intimate manners with each individual's consent, indicating their willingness to continue in these exercises can bring physical stimulation as well. So if the people are in the same room, they may in fact start to hear the other person in reaction to the types of light body intimacies that occur. So in controlled exercises, the individuals might be separated in different rooms or in different places, in fact. The problems of intimacy becoming too intense might prompt the individuals to give up their exercises and become more physically intimate. So the problems of intimacy are such that to be intimate on a light body level, the individuals have to separate themselves enough to be able to allow their light bodies to be intimate. There are many forms of light body intimacy, and in certain forms there are abilities of the light body to influence the other body without the other body having to do any light body work or exercise as well. So the light body type of intimacy exercises that were invented thousands of years ago involve various types of interplay, interchange, and intimacy. In the intimacy that light bodies are possible or capable of or the intimacy that these light bodies are capable of depends on their training, their mastery of light body intimacy techniques, and the consciousness of the individuals, because the individual intimacies are only achievable to certain levels depending on the consciousness of the individuals involved. So what that means is that intimacy to a great degree is possible, yet intimacy of much greater or higher, or one might term spiritual degrees, are possible too to those who have attained those types of realizations. So in this entire exploration of intimacy and light-body intimacy, one has to see that the intimacy extends not just to the physical, but it extends also through the intellectual, the emotional, spiritual, and all of these light bodies have their intimate connections to each other through the intimacy exercises that will connect the individual light bodies, or these individuals have connection to each other through their light bodies. The light body exercises that are easiest is when are one of the first ones to attempt is with one individual in their physical body, let's for instance laying down, and the second individual would take and have their light body remove themselves from their physical body and then go to the physical body of the other person and be intimate with that person on a light body to physical level. So what essentially is occurring there is that the mind of the first person would be able to, in conjunction with the light body energy, transfer to the position right adjoining the individual and have intimate relations with the other individual, with the light body's body of that other individual within that body. So the participation of light body and the types of experience from that point of view is kind of a well, I can't say, but then so that is one exercise where the one individual sends their light body to have intimate relations with the other individual. And then in the alternate exercise, that other individual would send their light body to that first individual and have those types of relations by being just outside the body. So this is essentially light body to physical contact. And these primary exercises allow the individual light body apprentices to actually have their light bodies share a physical to light body experience, interplay, and exchange. The next types of light body exchange involve light bodies meeting in various places. Now, if a light body is from individual A, would in the previous exercise go to individual B and be in the presence adjoining the physical body of the second participant, yet the light body of the second participant remains within the body of the second participant. So in this case, the two light bodies are together, but only one physical body is together at that. They're in around one physical body. Another type of intimacy is when the light body of individual A actually enters the physical body of the individual B and conjoins in space in that physical body with that body and can essentially poke around and play around within that body, that physical body. So at that time, it is possible to have multiple light bodies within one physical body. And it is within these types of circumstances that there also can be a form of intimacy, especially if the light bodies achieve a certain type of synchronicity, harmonious types of balancing and interconnectivity. So this type of connection, light-body intimate connection, can occur in that the if the light body enters face on, the orientation will be in reverse, and this is sometimes a rather uncomfortable experience for the apprentices when a master would enter their physical body at a different angle than their light body. Yet if the master would turn to the same orientation of the body of the apprentice, then the light bodies are able to harmonize and synchronize to some particular frequencies, and depending on their actual resonant harmonies. Its intimacies and such are intimacies between light bodies depends on their resonant frequencies, and it's not always possible for individuals to have harmony in their light bodies because of they're just not the exact same frequencies. We all have different frequencies, and some of us harmonize better with others. Some of our light bodies harmonize better with others, and therefore sometimes our consciousness also has harmonic types of resonances. So in the second form of this form of having two light bodies in one physical body can also be very intimate and very connecting, and within it there is a possibility of attaining a true harmony, yet it is a very strange feeling for the individual apprentice, because it feels like you're in you got two sets of organs and everything like that. It's a big mess inside, and to feel all of that, to feel all the light body organs of the master within the apprentice is a very strange experience indeed. Now, the types of, and in these exercises, the individuals will, in fact, achieve a great degree of physical pleasure if they are in connection with that physical body, or if the physical body is asleep, that's another matter. But in most cases, it's better not to let the physical body sleep in these light body exercises, because full consciousness or almost full consciousness is necessary for the enjoyment of these intimate experiences. And light body types of experiences that involve both light bodies leaving their physical bodies and having a tryst in a place and space and time is the preferable type of intimacy for light body intimacy, in that it allows travel to different places that allow different experiences in very blissful realms. So light body love and intimacy is such that it allows people and their spirits to have intimacies on levels that aren't normally known. And these intimacies extend from the inner mind to the outer limits, I've heard, or in any case, the types of connectivity between individuals becomes much more heightened through these intimacy exercises. Light body intimacy involves a connectivity between the light bodies that activates the chakras, activates the nadis, activates all of the auric fields, shields, and in this there is an entire type of glowing or activation energy that will increase the pleasure in participants. So the individuals participating in these intimacy exercises are encouraged to have certain types of connectivity, and these connectivity are especially heightened between a male and female light body, in that there are particular types of channeling between the bodies that have ability to have intimacies that extend throughout all of the light body. And what this means is that there are abilities to connect light body nadis or energy channels between the male and female light bodies, and to exchange energies on various levels that can become increasingly intense. And the intimacy and intensity becomes such that the individuals will lose themselves in their intimacy, in their love, in their pleasure. And so the full beauty of these light body exercises is that for individuals seeking intimacy, it can bring greater and greater intimacy as the participants learn this type of play or foreplay, it might be. And it is especially easy to do, so individuals that are not inclined to have physical sex or such at the time may experiment with these types of light body intimacies without the, there will be emotional connectivity, there could be other types of very endearing emotional connections made. So this is not a light thing to take on. It is a very serious matter, and light body intimacy involves a kind of connectivity that is what many would call true love or true intimacy, and it is what individuals seek in their harmony or in their marriages or in their relationships when they desire to be truly close to the other. Now, how truly close to the other can you be? If you're in just together physically, that's can last, so long, then you have to go to work. But if you're in a light body harmony, you're always in a resonance with your intimate one, your lover, and then the intimacy can extend throughout your life. And if there is commitment, there can be commitment through time, which extends throughout many lives. So light body intimacy is actually a form of forming relationships that may last for lifetimes. So in choosing intimate partners, one has to learn how to connect, and also if there is a necessity to disconnect, to know how to disconnect light body. Disconnecting light body is difficult for those not knowing how to do it, but the light body master can show the apprentice how to sever any unwanted connections, or as many as they can, through particular techniques that allows light body separation. Light body separation is a very serious matter too, because it can involve needed counseling for all the emotional upsets. There can be holes in each other's auras and light body, and where the connectivity was before. So if there was not a clean separation between light bodies, it becomes very messy, and it requires light body surgery to heal the individual. So in the quest for intimacy, one has to be able to know how to back out of these types of problems, or to be able to find a loving way to distance oneself from the other if the relationship isn't harmonious. In some cases, this becomes impossible if the individuals aren't strong enough or don't have the ability to sever connections. They're already in too close to each other as a relationship or a lifelong commitment. So in those cases, there is a difficulty, and that has to actually probably be lived through, or there has to be certain types of improvements which involve training and knowledge, and actually involves raising consciousness and, in fact, becoming more intimate in ways that weren't possible before. So there are ways to elevate these relationships that aren't quite great, but they're in the for people just learning light-body intimacy, there is the necessity to know all the tricks of getting out of problems, or or at least knowing techniques to be able to terminate unwanted relationships, unwanted light-body relationships. So in examining light-body intimacy, one sees that there is an entire realm of relationships, light-body relationships, that have certain types of characteristics, morals, and ethics are always involved. So light-body ethics, morality, and such is such a large topic that it involves the particular types of faiths, religions, practices of the individual. So in that there is an entire school in each religion on how to relate to each, to one's partner, one's marriage mate, in light-body manners, so that the intimacy, light-body intimacy, is able to extend through that relationship in the family, and in fact becomes part of the social structure and the connectivity, the family connectedness. So the intimacy on a certain level is a personal intimacy between two lovers, but then as this intimacy can expand with children, that expands out into families, and that is, so the intimacy is actually one that is just the beginning of greater and greater intimacies and greater pleasures. So in getting intimate with one's mate or one's lover or one's exercise partner, the intimacy exercises require a particular type of coordination of the body, which may be at different locations, the light body, which in these sets of exercises will conjoin at a particular location, and the directions of the masters in or to the participants have to be such that the participants know what they need to do in their light body exercises. And so in most cases there has to be a master and apprentice to learn these types of exercises, and probably a class is best, so that a master can teach a couple how to be intimate in light body sex, light body love, and all the light body intimacies that involve non-physical interaction. So these are types of intimacies that you can learn and then go home and be intimate with each other apart. So in these light body exercises, the apprentices would need to know how to, number one, harmonize their light body frequencies with each other, how to enter a sacred space together, and to be able to have a what is called sacred sex or light body sex.